Dayton was facing a multitude of crises in the late 60s and early 70s. Dayton's neighborhoods were suffering from white flight due primarily to school desegregation, a dramatic increase in housing vacancy, which then led to housing values falling dramatically. The employment crisis was highlighted by the National Cash Register Company's decision to eliminate 15,000 production jobs in 1971. The job loss represented approximately 15% of the total jobs in the city of Dayton. Dayton's leadership recognized that an aggressive approach was needed to deal with the challenges Dayton faced. A governance system that combined the leadership of government, neighborhoods, and business would develop the mission, goals, and objectives of Citywide.
Citywide was established as a part of the strategic initiative of City Manager Jim Cundy. He was assigned the task of addressing the decline of the city's traditional manufacturing base and its aging housing stock. The creation of Citywide had three objectives. First, to do what the city could not do under state law in high-risk economic development. Its second objective was to minimize political influence in how, when, and where economic and housing development projects were undertaken. His third objective was to leverage city dollars through partnerships with local financial institutions and federal grant programs. In the first 3 years of existence, the city provided startup funds for economic and housing development with the hope that Citywide would be self-supporting at some point. Its first endeavor was the newly designated Oregon Historic District. The mission involved both the creation of an entertainment district along East Fifth Street and the restoration of the mostly boarded-up residential structures in the interior of the neighborhood. In 1972, Oregon was a part of the East Dayton Urban Renewal Area. A plan was proposed to try to save Oregon from the bulldozer. If the effort failed, the bulldozers were ready. In the 1970s, Citywide was an essential partner with the city in every community development project undertaken. And because of its success in Oregon, it was called upon to provide the critical stimulus investment as each new historic district was created, from St. Anne's Hill to South Park to McPherson Town to Huffman to Wright Dunbar.
Beginning in 1993 and for 6 years, Citywide was instrumental in working with neighborhood leaders and the city of Dayton on Rehabarama. The project sought to acquire, renovate, and resell the worst houses in the neighborhood and turn them into the best houses, and to stimulate other private investment in the neighborhood. While Rehabarama was very successful, we learned that it was not enough to simply focus on the real estate side of rebuilding without paying attention to the human capital side of restoring neighborhoods. From 2000 to 2006, Citywide orchestrated a team of social workers, community organizers, housing inspectors, police officers, and residents to work in tandem with a team of architects and contractors who were focused on the physical renovation and construction of 35 structures in the Fairgrounds neighborhood. This effort was called the Genesis Project. Instrumental to the success of the Genesis Project was working with partners like the University of Dayton and Premier Health to help them understand the shared interest they had in seeing this neighborhood revitalized. The Genesis Project became a model for other community development strategies implemented by Citywide in other Dayton neighborhoods.
My desire to become involved with Citywide's Da Vinci Project was twofold. Having spent over 30 years in county government, I've had a deep love for the Dayton community. Da Vinci provided me with the opportunity to take that experience and apply it to one of Dayton's historic neighborhoods. Secondly, as the CEO of Dayton Children's, I feel we have a responsibility to our neighborhood. The hospital has been an important member of the Old North Dayton community for over 50 years. And Da Vinci provided us the opportunity to work in collaboration with other stakeholders to make improvements that would bring synergy to the entire area. I'm excited about what we've accomplished and believe we are just seeing the beginning of the investments we've made.
Greater Dayton Premier Management began an intimate partnership with Citywide Development in 2015 as a team secured one of the largest HUD Choice Planning Grant Awards in history. They brought together residents and the community to develop a plan to transform the neighborhood surrounding DeSoto Bass Courts in West Dayton. Citywide's connections and relationships in the community are deep, wide, and meaningful. I am proud of the steady investments totaling over $65 million in the last 6 years, and together we are making a difference.
The Pineview neighborhood is the best neighborhood in the city of Dayton. It took a lot of hard work through the energy and pride of the neighbors to make it this way. Pineview was the first black neighborhood of new home ownership in the city. The lake was one of the beauty spots that helped make Pineview a very beautiful neighborhood. When Route 35 came through the area, the amusement park was demolished and the lake was not maintained. It became overgrown and a nuisance in the neighborhood. The neighborhood had to do something to bring back that beautiful area. Citywide has helped Pineview to get grants and other investments to continue the improvement of Lakeside.
Over the last 12 years, Citywide obtained a Community Development Entity and a Community Development Financial Institution designation through the Federal Treasury Department. These designations allow Citywide to apply for funding that is unique for our region, such as the New Market Tax Credit Program. These investments help to close financial gaps upwards of 20 to 25% and meaningful projects located in some of the most disinvested portions of our community. Without this funding, many projects are not able to get over the finish line, or they take many more months or years to complete their capital funding.
Citywide's leadership in bringing the New Market Tax Credit Program to Dayton has resulted in unprecedented investment in some of our most under-resourced communities. Our community first received its award of New Market Tax Credits in 2010, and since then has made 17 awards, over $182 million in federal and state tax credits. These credits have catalyzed over $550 million in investments throughout our region. Projects have included the Five Rivers Health Centers building, the Omega CDC Hope Center, the Gem City Market, the YMCA Reach Project in Xenia, and the Dayton Arcade.
Five Rivers Health Centers was focused on relocating our OBGYN, dental, internal medicine, and peds departments to another area of town. After talking with Citywide, they introduced us to the wonderful Edgemont neighborhood in the West Dayton area. Without Citywide, we would not have had the fabulous building that we now have.
Citywide has made a difference in Dayton by taking on projects ahead of the market and reducing the risks related to those pioneering projects. Thousands of housing units have been added to our city landscape with the work of Citywide. Citywide first showed the development community how to reposition obsolete warehouse properties into thriving housing units full of industrial character with projects like the Cannery, St. Clair Lofts, and McCormick Place. In working closely with the city, Citywide has helped shape our asset development strategies. Efforts such as the Genesis Project anchored on Brown Street, the Da Vinci Project anchored on Valley Street, the West Dayton Development Project anchored by West 3rd Street, and the HUD Choice Plan are examples where Citywide's skills in collaborating and neighborhood organizing have brought significant change in some of our most challenged and vulnerable communities. Citywide's work has not only attracted hundreds of millions of dollars into our city, but more importantly, created a higher quality of life for our Dayton residents. Congratulations on your 50th anniversary.
Over the last 50 years, Citywide has shown that we haven't shied away from the tough projects, the difficult conversations, and the big ideas. Out of adversity has come vibrancy, growth, collaboration, and Dayton's resiliency continues to shine through everything that we do. As we continue to move Dayton forward, we recognize that none of this would be possible without the work done by our volunteers, our neighbors, and partners alike. Thank you for your support these last 50 years. We can't wait to see what important work the future holds for Citywide.